So you finally got the promotion. You're in charge. And the pressure. Wow, the pressure is on. You feel like you have to prove yourself, right? Make your mark. But what if the single most important key to being a great leader isn't about what you say, but how well you listen? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore.
I want you to think about your last big team meeting for a second. You know, the one where a major decision was on the line. Did you feel that urge to be the loudest person in the room, to have the most dominant voice? Today, we're going to dig into why the most powerful leadership tool you have might not be your voice, but your ears. And to really get our heads around this, we're going to tell a little story. It's about a young lion named Leo. And, if you're in any kind of management role, I have a feeling you might just see a little bit of your younger self, or maybe even your current self, in him. Now, this is a classic trap for so many new leaders. Leo thinks his strength, his loud roar, is what makes him the authority. He believes being a leader is all about making declarations, not having discussions. It's about having the final word, not necessarily the best idea. And that, right there, is a huge and dangerous blind spot.
Every leader and every project is going to face a storm eventually. It's that moment when a crisis starts brewing, something you won't find in any textbook. It could be anything, a surprise move from a competitor or an internal project that's about to fly off the rails, and in those moments, experience is everything. So let's see how Leo handles this first real test.
And here it comes, the critical piece of advice. Sarabi, the elder lioness, I want you to think of her as your most senior team member, the veteran who's seen it all. She sees the signs. This isn't just a guess, it's a forecast built on years and years of seeing this exact pattern before. The advice couldn't be clearer, and man, is it urgent.
And Leo makes the fatal mistake. He just brushes it off. He can't see the threat with his own eyes, so he defaults to his own very limited perspective. The sky is just a little dusty. This isn't just confidence, you guys. This is straight up arrogance. It's a flat-out refusal to believe that someone else might know more than him. And this is the exact moment his leadership fails.
We call this the arrogance trap. It's that incredibly dangerous place where a leader's confidence curdles and becomes a massive liability. It's when you start believing that your job title automatically makes you the smartest person in the room. And let me tell you, the price you pay for falling into this trap, it can be absolutely catastrophic.
And look at the pattern here. It's not just one person he's ignoring. He dismisses the elders. Those are your major stakeholders. Then he dismisses the frantic dragonfly. That's like that small, nagging piece of data that just doesn't quite fit his perfect plan. He is completely wrapped up in the belief that he alone is enough.
But here's the thing about reality, it doesn't care one bit about your ego. The problem that he was warned about starts to appear. Just a little whisper at first. And then it gets bigger. Suddenly the crisis is way bigger, way louder, and way more powerful than he is. His own roar, the very thing he thought was the source of all his authority, is completely and totally drowned out. And the fallout is just total. When that crisis finally hits, his title, his strength, his mighty roar, it all just evaporates. He's stripped of his authority, not by some rival, but by the reality he flat out chose to ignore. He's not a king anymore. He's just humbled and totally helpless.
Failure is a tough teacher, but boy, is it a powerful one. The storm is over, and now we get to the most important part of Leo's whole journey, actually learning from the disaster that he created.
This right here, this is the breakthrough. It's the moment he takes responsibility. He's not making excuses. He admits the real reason he failed. He confused his strength with actual knowledge. For any of us in a leadership role, that kind of honest self-reflection is the absolute first step toward any real growth.
And Sarabi, she doesn't rub it in his face, she teaches him. She gives him the core lesson of this entire story. Strength might get you the job title, sure, but wisdom, the kind of wisdom that only comes from listening to people with experience, that's what lets you actually lead.
So if you only take one single thing away from this story today, please let it be this. True leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about having the humility to build a team where the best ideas can be heard no matter where or who they come from.
But Leo's story doesn't just end with his epic failure. It ends with his transformation. He actually learned his lesson, and in the process, he found out what it really truly means to lead.
The journey of any great leader is really just this one fundamental shift. It's moving away from being obsessed with your own output, your roar, and developing a deep, genuine focus on the input you get from your team. It's all about your ears.
Which, of course, brings us right back to you. After hearing Leo's story, the choice is pretty clear, isn't it? Are you going to be the leader with the loudest roar, who always insists on having the final say? Or are you going to be the leader with the biggest ears, who understands that real strength is found in the collective wisdom of the entire team?
Because ultimately, your legacy as a leader won't be defined by the speeches you gave, but by how well you actually listened. Hey, if this lesson was valuable for you, please do us a favor and hit that like button, share it with another leader who might need to hear it, and of course, subscribe for more. Thanks so much for joining us.